Well, hello, and welcome back to Faith in Me with a Little Tea. And I do have my tea with me, and I wanted to say thank you for tuning in. Um, it has been several months since I have done a video and a vlog, um, and I didn't feel ready to, and I still don't feel ready, but um, I have to push on and push forward with what God has asked me to do. And so here I am. So I did say on my last video there was something that I wanted to talk about, but I wasn't ready to talk about it. I'm not sure if I am ready now, but I think I need to in order for me to carry on. Um, so here we go. And it won't be very long. It'll be several videos because I think it's important to talk about when we go through things that are very hard, and it helps us to push forward with the Lord in these circumstances that we go through, where we sometimes think that why do we get to go through them if we're children of God? But anyway, so last year I lost my mother, and it's coming up to a year in April, and I wasn't ready to do any videos about my loss and my grief, and because I just would be blubbering on the phone, and that's not helpful. And to anybody who even might be going through something like that quite recent. She was young. She was just turned 70. That's young nowadays. And she was something special. Now, my voice might crack, so just let you know that. But losing her, I never thought I would grow old without her by my side. And sometimes people will say to me, wow, it's not like you lost your husband. Yeah, that's actually been said. Or your children, or, anything like that. And I don't know what sort of relationships they've had with their parents, but mine wasn't an ordinary relationship. I loved that woman. Right, I'm back. I just had to compose myself. It's not easy. But anyway, my relationship with my mom is probably different to a lot of people. A lot of people are close to their parents, but when you are really close, their loss does feel as if you lost your spouse or you lost your children, because you love them on the same level. You have the same, almost different relationships, but same relationship, if sort of, and sometimes I wonder, what kind of relationship people have to be able to say to me, well, it's not like you lost your husband, or it's not like and it's sort of like, because that's been said to me. Or they say, why are you crying? Because it's almost a year later. So, um, but I just sort of, I went through it with my mom. I went through the trenches. She was a single mom, and I was there through terrible times, and I was there by her side through the good times. I was there when she became a Christian. She's why the way I am. She is why I serve the Lord, and I'm very knowledgeable. I'm not ignorant, that's for sure, of the Lord. My mom made sure she taught us meat. We didn't really get a chance to have the milk of the word. So, because she was in the 80s, and we were expecting the rapture right then and there. So we had to really, the Christians back then, and definitely the Christians nowadays aren't like the Christians back in the 80s and the 70s and stuff like that, where, we had the fear of the Lord, and my mom made sure I had the fear of the Lord. Even when I wasn't a Christian, I had the fear of the Lord. I would do things and immediately be convicted as a non-Christian. I would say things and immediately I would feel like, ugh, and that's because of what my mom instilled in me from a very young age. I knew the book of Revelation at a young age. I knew what was coming. I knew all of that. So she made sure that the time that I had with her wasn't wasted. She was a mom that I could call 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, her time, because I live in the UK and she's in California. And if I'm going through it in the middle of the night because the enemy's attacking me, then we were there interceding. We were fasting together, across Atlantic. We were battling the enemy. We were that's how we were. We were lockstep with one another. And when you have a parent, if you're lucky to have a spouse that way, that's amazing. But when you have a parent that's like that is the warrior next to you, and you lose them, God takes them home. Ooh, you are grieving their loss. Physically, she's no longer on the other side of the phone. Everybody talks about the grief, but they don't ever tell you about the spiritual grief. And the Lord told me that I wasn't just grieving for her as a mom, my mom. I was grieving, my spirit was grieving my spiritual partner. And that's a very hard grief, because you're grieving for both your spiritual partner and your parent. And I'm only talking about parents because I'm talking about my mom. And that was something that the Lord showed me, that I was grieving spiritually as well. And I went through it with the Lord. Didn't really go to church, pray, talk to him. I still loved him. I would never backslide. But I was angry. And everybody says, oh, they're in heaven. Don't be upset. And it's just like, can I just grieve the way I want to grieve? And let me just do it. Because if the Lord is allowing me to do it without leaving him and without blaspheming him or anything like that, then just leave me alone. That's how I was. And I know she'll would never, not even for us, trade leaving there to come back here. I know this. I know it. And but grief is a funny thing. I thought I was doing good until I went home for Christmas. And suddenly my hometown felt strange. I felt like I was in a boat floating with no anchor. But Jesus is so good, people. He's amazing because he allowed me to be angry. He allowed me to question him. He allowed me, and he stepped back and just let me be. When my mom was dying, we couldn't believe it because she felt sick. She'd just come back from a mission trip to Guatemala. And I said to her, go to the doctor. If she wasn't feeling well, I says, you have to go to the doctor. She went to the doctor. And they gave her 6 weeks to live. Then I asked her, I says, Mom, I says, has the Lord said anything? Has he shown you anything? She was going through her own thing with the Lord. And she says, no. She goes, except for I had this dream that that I was spiraling into this darkness. And the Lord said to tell you, me, not to stop fighting. So we didn't know what that meant. I thought, oh my God, she's going to hell? What? This woman, what? He's showing her that she's going to hell? You know, so of course we got right on it. Me and the ladies from her Bible study group, people who she intercessed and did deliverance with, other people, you know. I mean, this was such a shock to the body there where we're from and to the town and everything. It was just, so we got to fighting for her, interceding, fasting. And so, you know, because what did that dream mean? You know, why was she spiraling down this darkness, you know, and why would she be going, you know, anyways. about 6 to 8 weeks ago, I just was crying in my car over her. I couldn't breathe. It was like I was having a panic attack. And so as I was driving, this is all happening while I'm driving, the Lord then took me back to that conversation with my mom. And he said to me, clear as I'm speaking to you, she was not watching herself spiral down into darkness. She was watching you. It was your face. So though my mom thought it was her, because me and my mom, we look like each other, God showed her. God showed me, or told me that it was me that was spiraling down into darkness, and I had to keep fighting. Whoa. God knew what was going to happen to me, and I just cried because he told me not to stop fighting. And that was the turning point for me, to get back on track and to fight. And to come back to the Lord, and to remember his goodness, and to remember he's the God that will leave the 99 for me, and he will leave the 99 for you. And he will never leave us as orphans. It says it in the Bible. I think in Matthew it talks about he would never leave us for orphans. I think it's somewhere, I had it down here somewhere. And I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you. Isn't that amazing? It almost goes with that scripture where it talks about the 99. He's coming. He comes to you. He comes for you. So if you're in any darkness over grief right now, and you feel like an orphan, like I do, because I have now lost both my parents, that feeling is a lie of the enemy. You're not an orphan. God loves you. He will come for you. He will come to you. He will leave the 99 for you. His love and his spirit lives in you. So don't give up. If you're going down that pole of spiraling into darkness, fight. Just keep fighting, because he will show up, and he will grab you by your right hand and pull you out. Anyways, I wish it was much more an uplift vlog, but I just needed to talk to you about it. And I will share more things about my mom, and because she's got the most amazing testimony, and I know she will. I'm back again, but her testimony she would want me to share it, and because it's got to help somebody out there. I don't have that sort of testimony. Mine is quite boring. Nonetheless, I have, I've still come to God, but her testimony. and I was a witness to it all. Anyways, that will be for a later time. Thank you for bearing with me and all my pauses and things like that. I don't want to be one of those cringe videos where I'm crying on my phone. Anyways, you have a blessed day. And if you want to read that about an orphan, it's in the Bible. It's John 14, Matthew. I think it's Matthew 12 that talks about the 99. Jesus leaving the 99 for the one. It's a parable. But if you want to read anything where it talks about an orphan, him not leaving us as an orphan, that is in John 14, and I would read from 15 to 18, and let that sink in. Anyways, you have a blessed day, and yes, we'll do this again. God bless.